Hello everybody. I know it's been a little while. Haven't had much to talk about. Surgery went well, for those that may be wondering. Got a nice little implant over here now. But anyway, the reason for this video, and as you can see from the title, saw Masters of the Universe yesterday. And as a child of the 80s, and someone who has watched every iteration of He-Man they've ever done, this movie is probably by far the most accurate and true to the soul of the franchise of anything I've ever seen. And it's not just the original cartoon, which a lot of people have been pointing out, but it's also got elements of 2000X in it. It's got elements of the Netflix Revelations and Revolution series. There's bits of lore that if you know it, you see it on screen. They don't tell you, they don't spell it out, but it's there. The acting is phenomenal. Finally, a role that showcases Jared Leto that's really friggin' good. He captures all the aspects that you'd expect from a Skeletor very well. The writing is on point. You got some of the diabolical, just pure evil and conniving Skeletor that we've seen in modern stuff since 2000 and up. But you've also got moments of batshit craziness and maniacal laughter that we were used to from the original 80s cartoon. Evil Lynn, oh, she's okay. Beastman, perfectly fine. I don't recall Triclops saying more than one or two lines in the entire movie, but he's there. There's a bunch of others that I don't recognize off the top of my head on the Evil Warrior side. Now, on the Masters, wow. So, Mekaneck actually was pretty cool. Ram Man, that they did everything right with him. Teela, unbelievably good. I was so afraid they were going to mess her up, given what Hollywood likes doing to movies and female characters nowadays. But they didn't. She was very much Teela. And there's something that happens at the end of the movie during the credits that I'm not going to say anything about, but stay for them. It's absolutely great. It tells you exactly what the sequel is going to be. So you're set up for another really good movie. I hope this movie comes out. I mean, swinging, and word of mouth gets people into the theaters. My theater had, I don't know, maybe 30 people in it for the second showing yesterday. Now, I will say this. AMC Evansville. I went through all the trouble to get through the construction and leave an hour early to get there, just to be told they didn't get any of the metal posters and that they had no merch whatsoever. That they'd already sold out of the Skeletor popcorn buckets, which wasn't what I was going there for. I was going there for the Castle Grayskull. And just nothing. Absolutely nothing. They had some toppers, but no cups to go with the toppers. I was beside myself at that. If I'd known that, I would have just went to the one in Henderson. But the screen was nice. The seating, of course, this AMC is always nice. Even picked up a Skeletor from the movie. This is the basic line. The budget line, honestly, and really looking at the details of it, it's freaking great. For a child or kid-friendly line, this is stuff that we only dreamed about when we were kids. And the quality of this figure matches the quality of the movie. I will say this, I'm not going to give any spoilers, The Earth segment is only probably about 20 minutes. This is the very, very first part of the movie. But it's important because it sets up the events between, it tells you why Adam's on Earth, what happened in Eteros, in Eternia, that caused him to be on Earth, and how his life in that 15-year period, he became the person he was without really truly changing who he was in his heart. And that is something I think a lot of people, I didn't notice anyone mention it on X or on Facebook, but when we came out of the movie last night, the thing that I walked away with was just like with the original cartoon. There was a moral to the story. There was a lesson to be learned. And it was, have faith in yourself. That you have the power to change things. To do good, to do right, to help others. That is the heart and soul of the movie. And it's wrapped up in this wonderful wrapper of intense action. Some pretty good comedy. There were some genuinely funny moments, and the music selection for it. Holy crap. There's even some Highlander references in it. There's two to be specific. One on Earth and one later on in the movie, and those of you who've seen it know exactly what I'm talking about. And it was absolutely great. And during the second reference, there's a scene that happens, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, is that going to be Stinkor? Are they going to put Stinkor in this movie? I will say he's not, but that's the first place my brain went. Just because it just kind of felt like it. If they had it to do it, they could have done it. And it would have fit perfect. Spikor looked menacing, not goofy like his toy did. That's another thing they did. They explain how everybody has such honestly goofy names. Ram Man and all of that. Where it come from. And it come from Adam as a kid drawing his memories so he wouldn't forget them. Perfect. Even his own name, He-Man. It was great. Absolutely great. I cannot tell you the last time that I have seen a movie in the theater where not only did I feel like 7-year-old self who walked out of the 1987 movie with just the biggest shit-eating grin you've ever seen. Because 7-year-old me loved the original movie. 46-year-old me thinks this movie is probably one of the best adaptations of an 80s property we've ever had. I want to see them do a Thundercats. That would be great. But what I really want to see, more than anything else, is what's hinted at the end of this movie. Also, what you saw in the trailers, as you've seen, the costume designs are absolutely phenomenal. They look great. They don't look cheesy. They look like they're actual functional outfits. The fights have a gravity to them, a weight to them that you don't normally see. And the reason it works is, you gotta remember, Eternia is a fantasy setting. People there can take hits like normal humans can't. It's just not possible. So, as someone who grew up, and everybody mostly knows me or knows of me, knows I'm the Star Trek guy. I'm the Transformers guy. I'm into Star Wars and Babylon 5. Not many know how much I freaking love Masters of the Universe. And like I said, this movie hit every single checkbox. Adam, perfect. He-Man, perfect. There's some slight little twinges of maybe some people could have some discourse on how he kind of acts, but if you look at where he was working, he grew up in a city, and the things he was around, the brainwashing, if you want to put it that way, that he went through on Earth, that never really changed who he was. He just went along with emotions like a normal person would, so he would have a job, so he could fit in. But he never gave up who he was or what he believed. And when he goes back to Eternia, that's where some of the comedy does come from, the Clash of Worlds dynamic. So, like I said, I'm not going to go into too many spoilers. There's so much stuff I'd want to talk about on this movie. I think I want to see it at least 2 more times before I try to do any breakdowns. Just know it's really good. Go see it. See it this weekend. This movie could make $500,000 in the next month, but they won't call it a hit if it doesn't meet its budget this weekend or exceed its budget this weekend. Please go see the movie. Tell your friends about it. If you even have a passing interest in the sci-fi fantasy genre, this movie you will love. Oh, and there's a brilliant kind of a Conan reference in it too. Those of you who know the history of He-Man and how the character was created and what the character is based on, it is perfect. So, anyway, Earth segments weren't bad. They weren't cringy. Well, they were and they weren't. But like I said, that goes into the narrative. I think it's calling out some stuff blatantly, and you can interpret it however you wish. There is no wrong interpretation. Don't let online talking heads tell you this movie's woke or this movie's too masculine. The interpretation is solely up to you. What the movie resonates with you. So, like I said, it was great. And I even asked my wife yesterday, I said, what was your favorite scene? She couldn't find one. Because the whole movie is that good. And if I had a gun pointed to my head and asked, what was my favorite scene, I'd have to say the final fight. The entirety of it. Because it gives you so many aspects of how a sorcerer and a barbarian would fight. And it's just really, really good. And it kept with the heart of one of the main aspects of not only He-Man, but of Superman. They always hold back. They choose to not be their full selves. That's a stronger character trait than any act of strength that a character could usually perform. Because the ability for self-control is greater than that of just ripping something apart. But like I said, it's really good. The last few scenes of the movie just tickled every single nostalgia bit of me. As someone who collects the Masters of the Universe, Classics, Masterverse, whatever they call it now line, because Mattel keeps changing the name. I collect the 7-inch figures, basically. I have the Origins line because I like the feel of them. Of course, I got the Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain. These guys might be a little too small for that, but I bet he'll look great in Snake Mountain, which is probably where he's going to go. I may do a full review on him, but Pixel Dan does one that's so much better. He's got both waves. The Hanson Walmart here only had wave 1, which is the Skella Knight, Mechanech, and Skeletor. Teela, He-Man, and I think it's Beastman are wave 2. Now, I believe the Henderson Walmart had those, but I won't get Henderson until later today. So, anyway, like I said, the movie's absolutely freaking phenomenal. Go see it. Go see it more than once. I'm going to go try to see it again Sunday and see if I can get some friends to go with me. See it as a group on a matinee or something. I think that's it. The hardest thing to do is try to talk about it without giving away a bunch of plot points. Yeah, go see it. Like I said, I left the movie giddy and happy and just wow. It was everything I ever wanted to see. And Idris Elba's Man at Arms was spectacular casting. I mean, absolutely great. So besides that, yeah, go see the movie. This is Astron 1701, and I'll see you later.